Well, hey everyone, welcome back to RC Mechanic Garage. Today we're working on the mock-up chassis for these 3D printed bodies. I haven't decided what scale I want them at yet. I printed basically all four bodies at the standard scale that when I bought the prints. I did some at 115% and some at 108. Right now I'm doing the 69 Dodge at 110 because on the original print, like say for instance, this is 108, okay? The wheel well would be way too small. I mean, you wouldn't be able to fit. But the way the wheel well is right now, you can see that's a whole lot better. So even if the tires stuck out a little bit, or if they stuck in, I may not run this exact size, but this is I call this the mock-up wheel as well. So I may run something a little smaller. I'll show you what I had in mind. These right here are 1.9s. They were on my Trailfinder 2 BF Goodrich edition. And if we take a look right here, you can see they darn near fit all the way up in there, right? So that would be like a perfect size. I don't know if I can read it. Alright, scale size is supposed to be anyway, these aren't brand name, these are just some cheap Chinese ones I bought. Either way, working on the chassis, right? We're going to make it so we can easily adjust the wheelbase. And what I had in mind was, I found this tubing up here at Tractor Supply, which is almost perfect with this. It's a little loose, right? So I figure if I can move these in or out with a little bit more resistance on them, I should be able to get the axles where I want them, set the pinion where I want it, and then I'll know exactly what size link to use. Alright, so what I did there is I cut these in half. Took about that much out of it. It's right around half an inch. Okay, that's so in case I need to go a little shorter, I can go shorter and I'll still have plenty of room to go longer. Okay, so as you can see right here, I already got this basically done. This tubing needs to be a little bit longer. I tried using a zip tie to accomplish the same thing, but it cannot tighten it down far enough. So today I'm just going to show you my idea. I do have an idea, I just don't have the details, right? So we're going to go ahead and take these top links off right here, and I'm going to do the same thing to them. Cut some tubing, and see if we can get an idea how this is going to work. I mean, in the end, we should be able to figure out how long it needs to be. Anyway, like I said, in the end, we should be able to figure out how long it needs to be. Set that pinion angle where it should be, and then I'll know exactly what size links. And I have, like I said, I have some hose clamps coming. Did I say that? I don't know. Did I tell you I had hose clamps coming? Super small ones, okay? They'll tighten that down. Hopefully tighten it down just enough so there's enough resistance where it won't move by itself. It'll take some effort. And once I get it set, that should be it. Alright, so I'm going to take these links off and cut them. Get some more tubing cut. This is actually the tubing I bought. It is a 5-foot length of 1/4 inch inner diameter, 3/8 outer diameter. So I think that might work out pretty good. We're going to find out though. Okay, let me get to it. Oh, here it is, almost finished product. Top links, bottom links, all done right here, front and rear. Only thing I'm waiting on are the hose clamps that I ordered. Hopefully they're the right size. They're not here yet, but this is the concept I have, and I think, you know, as you can see, you can move these things in and out, and you know, I can clamp one side a little tighter than the other, so it only moves it out here or moves it here. The only thing what I really want to do is make sure that it doesn't move on its own, right? Because this chassis, it's not very good. Okay, it is like, when I say it's the cheapest or one of the cheapest I could find on Amazon, I wasn't kidding. Okay, it did come with a transmission. I took it out already, and then started working on this. And I originally had a thought of putting wood blocks, say, up under here. But then I thought, well, why would I do that? These links are junk anyway. I just cut them, you know, and come up with something like this. If this tubing doesn't work, I have another option, but hopefully it does work. Alright, so while we're waiting for clamps to show up, let's just, you know, RC Mechanic Garage is kind of at a standstill waiting on parts. I bet you've never heard that one before. No, I bet you have. Well, I have the Trail Finder 2 right here that broke an axle. This axle, right here. We were at the White Oak Crawling Park. Took it down a pretty tough line. And the motor in this thing has just got way too much power, but I'm waiting on axle for that. Okay, as you can see, I'm just storing tires up there now in pallets. The story is that truck has a hot load of pallets and it needs to get to the customer, and then decide to go to the RC park and broke an axle. Alright, so I've been working on some other things. Right up over here, I'm trying to get my charging station underway. It's like 70% there. And we got our battery charger there, battery charger there, battery charger there. And I picked up one of these multi-port USB charging things. So I can do all the cameras up in here, and the batteries for the cameras and for the monitor, batteries for my little cameras. Well, this is the little camera I'm using now, but it's not them, it's the Canon cameras. Then I have you know, these batteries here. These up here do not belong there, they belong down here, but they'll get put there. I'm still working on it, right? I also put up a light strip right there to plug everything into, so there's no there's not, you know, surge protectors like everywhere. It's just that one right there. And as long as we're on the electrical part, let's talk about this. We have the surge protector now at the bench. Yeah, I've been wanting to put a outlet here for like a long time, but you know, I kept having to move this thing. It's moved like 3 different spots in this building, and I believe this is where it's going to stay now, so that's where it is. And if you look down here, see I got it all nice, stapled up nicely, and there's plenty of cord if I have to move it. My jump box right there. So the Capra is coming back to life, and I was going to make it a 4-wheel steer, but I didn't want to have to like cut the frame in order to get clearance for the steering servo and all that. I mean, I did that on the Wraith, and I regretted it basically a month after I did it. I should have left it alone. And now, you know, finding parts for a Wraith is either nearly impossible or really expensive, right? So anyway, we're getting the camper back on the trail. Camper's got the old axles back in it. We got some wheel extenders, has a lot wider stance now. This thing was like a spider anyway, crawling over anything. But you know, we're gonna get the lights back working here and all that, and get the interior in. I also made a change on the motor. We put a 2300 in here because of the gear reduction on the portal axles. And the last thing I'm waiting on parts for is Miller Racing. RC 4-wheel drive sold a light kit for it, but I'm too much of a Neanderthal to deal with these really teeny wires. So I ended up breaking them, and then I ended up accidentally touching, you know, 11 volts to the wires for these, and you know, pop, smoke show, whole bit. So what I've got working on it now are the rear lights, and I think you'll like the way I have them working. I need to replace this. I already replaced these, but I'm waiting for the light bar to show up. I'm waiting for this light bar to show up. Once that's done, it will be done. And that'll be all the parts that I have coming in right now. Still need to work on him, because I don't like the roll bar that came with it. That's the whole reason why it's down. I mean, I never even ran it yet. So, although it did come with like no grease in the differentials and things like that. So now once I dug into that and I was looking at that roll bar, I was going like, oh man, that's so chintzy. The rest of the truck is awesome, right? I mean, it's so scale. So scale. It's just like the one outside. I have one of these outside, except it don't have a top. And since I'm probably going to run it without the top, just like the one outside, well, you know, gotta do something about that roll bar. While we're waiting for them clamps to show up, well, I'm hoping they'll be here tomorrow. I'm not ending this video until they're here, okay? I'm hoping to get at least 3 videos done tomorrow, because as soon as parts show up, I can like bam, 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 knock stuff out like crazy. But it's looking like Wednesday, Thursday right now, and it's that time of year. This may be season 8 for 2025, but when I'm filming this, it is actually just after Thanksgiving, so you can guess how that's going to go. All right. So hopefully I'll see you in a second, and we'll be putting clamps on my Frankenstein over here. Take another look at her. Yep. You know, it looks kind of ugly, but I think the concept will be fine. Okay, so the mock-up chassis is basically set. Put the 87 Dodge body on here, and I gotta say, that looks really good to me. That's not exactly how it's gonna sit, but it's pretty close, and the wheelbase is really good, I think. And as you can see, the chassis itself looks a bit like Frankenstein. I may not leave it like this, but for now, I think that will do the job. Tell me what you think of this, right? I have another body I want to throw on here just to, you know, make sure that it'll work for that too. So let's go ahead and do that. The 69 Dodge is really stretching the mock-up chassis to its limit. It is really long. When I say long, I mean really long, right? So let's go ahead and measure it. We're about 14 1/4 inches. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, but you gotta admit, this thing looks like incredible on here. It's no wonder that they, they make these models, and they make it so it'll just, kind of like look cool on the shelf. Because if I was just to go ahead and put this on the shelf, well, it would look really cool, right? Now I printed this in black because I ran out of gray. Gray is what I like to use. Really pushing this thing, this mock-up chassis to its limit because of the way I got it set up. If I would not have cut the 1/2 inch out of the links, probably be alright. But even still, if I was to take this on a trail, I would not be able to take it really many places. I'm just putting this up here just so you guys can see what it would look like. The cab did not turn out the way I wanted it to. It has structural problems. The hood is fine. The bed, like I said, I changed some settings on the slicer, and I think that turned out a whole lot better than the grill. Is fine. The grill is actually one of the best grills I've done. Let's go ahead and turn this in if I can. Yep, sure. Just go ahead and do that. Alright. The grill turned out fine. Just a couple little blemishes, but I can work around that. But this thing looks hot. I mean, really. You gotta admit, it looks hot. There's also a step side version, I believe, to this that I could do. But I don't want to do that. I want to do a style side version of this. Anyway, that's how the mock-up chassis will work. There's obviously some changes I can make to it, and like I said, it was more like a concept than details. So look for the details to be coming up, because I don't think I'm done with that yet. And there'll be more on this truck and on the 87. 87, I believe the body on that one I'm good with. We're just going to keep it. Well, if you're digging my new venture, I'd make sure to leave a comment and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe so you can see more, because there's a whole lot more coming from these. Okay, this is RC Mechanic Garage. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. And if you don't get enough content here, just make sure to visit RC Mechanic Garage Facebook. On Instagram, it would be RC_mechanic_garage. You'll see more. Probably what you won't see here. Alright? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.